It's the 1st of October. This is the Weekly Spread.
Hey everybody, I'm Jason, this is Rick.
Hey guys.
And welcome to another episode of the Weekly Spread.
Yeah.
Well, we talk about shows that we found interesting throughout the week. And Rick, you know, as time goes along, you think, will we ever have a quiet week in pop culture? No,
never.
We won't. There's been a lot of stuff
Never.
happening. And as usual, mate, we're going to have a lot to get through. Let's get started, get cracking into the movies. Fantastic, Rick. Well, the first story I want to talk about today is actually the start of, well, what you could say is, hopefully for the studio, a multi-billion-dollar franchise. And that is the start of production of the Avatar sequels.
Oh, okay, the starter, Rick.
Which is really interesting, Rick, because they're going very bold here. They're filming 4 sequels back-to-back at the same time.
Jeez.
This has not actually been attempted before. Lord of the Rings did it back in the early 2000s when they filmed all 3 back-to-back. But here they're doing 4 sequels. And Jim Cameron was actually saying that it's not like they're doing one film and then they've done that, then they film the next one. No, they'll be filming scenes from like the 4th film the first week, and then the next week they'll film scenes from the second one, and they'll just do it all at once.
Wow, okay.
It's pretty amazing stuff what they're trying to achieve here. And they're saying the budget for these films, in total, is going to be over $1 billion. I don't know about you, mate, but $1 billion is a big chunk of change. And a hell of a risk. I mean, you think about this, mate. If this movie, second one, sucks, they've got 3 other films they've got to dish out. So it's a hell of a risk.
But why are they doing it back to back? What's the point of doing it?
I think it's effective in the way is if you look, it's taken them 10 years to pump out a sequel to the first one. So I think just to get all the sequels done and just to get Cameron to sit down and actually make the films, it's probably better to do that. It is cheaper overall if you do it that way.
Okay.
So even though $1 billion sounds like a lot, those films maybe would have been $350 million. Now they're $250,000 each, you know, which is a pretty standard budget for a science fiction kind of film that he's going to be making. So I look forward to seeing the Avatar sequels. I do enjoy the first one. I know there's some criticisms about it, but for what it is highly entertaining. So we'll see what he can dish up in 2019, I believe.
2019.
Yep, absolutely. Now, moving on, there's a bit of a controversial story that's come out in the last 24 hours, I'd say, Rick.
Yeah.
It is an announcement and really kind of threw everybody that they're in production not filming, but writing a sequel to Coming to America.
Yeah, no.
Coming to America, the 1998 comedy, Eddie Murphy comedy, directed by John Landis, and Arsenio Hall was in it. And a fantastic original movie, one of the great comedy movies that everybody who's seen it generally loves this film. His character portrayals in all those films were excellent by Eddie Murphy. But really, all this time later...
Do we really need to have it?
Are we talking 30 years later we're making a sequel to this film?
Let it go.
What is the intent of this? Is there a story out there that they're desperate to tell? Or in reality, is it just like a lot of these things... It's an opportunity to cash in on nostalgia.
Well, Eddie posted on his Twitter a while ago. He did a photo of it, and then he kind of like a sequel. He did something, hinted, and then just deleted it, and that was it. We didn't hear anything.
Okay.
We didn't hear anything from it, and then now this has come up. To me, I can just let it go.
Yeah, I've got to say, it just seems like the thing is, I really miss Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
I think Eddie Murphy, unfortunately, took a lot of roles in the 90s, 2000s that did take advantage of his skill set. And I would love to see Eddie Murphy back at his prime because he ruled the 80s. He was dominant.
Of course, yeah.
And he made excellent films.
If you look at a lot of his other movies that he's done, they're just woeful.
They are. I mean, he got into those films where he was doing nothing but kids' films.
Nash Pluto and then
Dr. Dolittle and Daddy Daycare and
Nutty Professor and they were just
the Nutty Professor I actually enjoy quite a lot.
Fuck no.
I love The Nutty Professor.
Hate that movie.
Do you really?
I didn't enjoy it. I just thought
disagreement here. I think that's hilarious.
To me, I think Eddie just needs to let it go.
Go away?
Just go away because leave it. It's a classic and that's it. So
fair enough.
That's
fantastic. Well, we'll be interested to see what comes of it. Now, moving on to somebody who is a bit of a legend in the industry, and that is Martin Scorsese. Now, if you haven't heard, he's currently filming a new gangster movie.
This is awesome.
With, wait for it, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, and Joe Pesci. He asked, apparently it's reported, he asked Joe Pesci over 50 times to be in his new film, and he's kept turning him down. But eventually, he's got Joe on board.
This is
movie's called The Irishman. That's all I really know about the plot at this stage.
Is this the one that's going straight on Netflix?
It is. It's been purchased by Netflix, and we'll get to see it at the end of the year. I can't remember the exact date. It is in December. We will get to see this film. But how exciting for a couple of reasons. To see that trio back on screen.
Goodfellas reunion.
I don't know if Al Pacino and Pesci have ever been in anything together, but obviously Robert De Niro and Pesci have worked together multiple times.
Pesci was in...
He wasn't in any of the Godfather films. He wasn't... He wasn't in Heat or anything else like that.
Hang on, you're talking about who? De Niro?
De Niro and Pesci have worked together a lot. But Pacino and Pesci I don't think have worked together. Either way, what a powerhouse of actors that we've got together, led by the great Martin Scorsese. I cannot wait to see...
I can't wait.
Some footage of this.
I think it's
all right,
phenomenal.
So... let's check it out when it comes out in December. And you know what? I think we'll probably do a review on that film.
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely.
Asked.
So
yeah.
That's all I've got for movies this week, mate. I don't really have any clips to show you. There's nothing really worthy of showing you this week. Get out there, go to the movies, enjoy yourself. Let's move on to streaming. All right, Rick, what have you got in streaming?
All right, guys, let's go straight into streaming. We're going to Netflix. Now, if anyone's a Lady Gaga fan... there's a lot of Lady Gaga fans out there. She's just dropped a documentary on Netflix. I've actually watched this. I thought it was really, really good.
Yeah.
I don't mind Lady Gaga as a performer. Her performance at the Grammys this year with Metallica was just phenomenal. I thought it was just awesome.
What did they do again? What song did they do?
They did the Moth to the Flame, but they had a bit of a technical issue with a sound issue, which kind of didn't take off at the beginning. Yeah. But after that, it was fantastic. She's amazing. Yeah. So she's dropped the documentary. It's called Gaga. 5'2". Yeah. It goes for an hour 40. Yeah. The documentary just goes behind the scenes with the pop. Lady Gaga has released a bold new album, prepares the Super Bowl halftime show. She goes on about her life, her relationships, everything. So
she's such an interesting performer.
She's pretty amazing.
Absolutely. And my wife and daughter have seen this as well. I haven't seen it yet. And they both raved about it as well.
It's a great show.
I think even if you're a fan of music in general, I think it's something definitely worth checking out.
Oh, definitely. So let's just flop to a clip and see what you guys think.
My family is the most important thing in my life. Hi, Grandma. Hello there. This is Joanne. She died when she was 19. I can always bring my past with me. But
wow. Yeah.
There you go, guys.
I'm sold. I'm definitely going to be checking
this out. Get on it for sure. No worries. All right, let's move over to Stan. This is huge news. Personally, for me, it's not really big news for me, but there are a lot of people out there.
A lot of people
out there that love this show. And I'm talking about Will and Grace. Yeah. They're coming back for season 9, guys, which will be released every Friday, same time as the US, 4 p.m. on a Friday, exclusive to Stan.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic.
So the guys are back.
It was definitely a very progressive show for its time, and besides all that, really funny. So you know, I didn't watch it religiously, but I know my wife, massive fan of the show. So
it's a decade after the 8 seasons. You can still watch 1 through to 8 on Stan as well.
Oh, they got all that.
Yeah, they've got all that as well. So you can start from the beginning and then go all the way through to season 9.
Drown in the binginess of Will and Grace.
Yeah, we'd really love to hear your feedback on if there's any Will and Grace fans and see what they think of season 9. Good on that, guys.
Fantastic.
Foxtel, all right, let's move on to Foxtel. Foxtel always do this, which is really, really cool. They do pop-up channels. And one of the pop-up channels now they've got is the Bourne collections.
The Bourne movies?
Yeah, the Bourne movies. So if you guys are into the Bourne movies, it's on channel 400. And then they'll showcase all 5 explosive action movies of the Bourne series.
Fantastic.
So definitely worth a watch. That starts on Friday the 29th. and that runs through to the Monday, October 2nd. So get on that, guys. Great. Oh yeah, great films.
Absolutely fantastic. Even number 4, which
was that one with Renner?
That is the one with Jeremy Renner. Isn't like brilliant, but it's not a bad film.
No, it's not. It's not bad, but
they're
it's
quite good.
Definitely worth a watch, guys, for your inborn collection.
Fantastic.
That's it, guys.
I think it's time to move on to gaming. All right, in the world of gaming this week, we've got some fun little things to talk about. And the first one is the release, finally, well, not here in Australia yet, but in the USA and Europe, of the classic edition of the SNES. That is right. Nintendo has released their little mini console on the back of the original NES, which they released last year. They now have done a version of SNES, which is really exciting. This is a console I am actually looking at buying myself because this was a console that was very pivotal in my gaming experience as a young person. I absolutely love the SNES, smashed the absolute crap out of a lot of these games, and I thought it's really going to be a lot of fun. I don't think we're going to get it. Probably till next year here in Australia, and unfortunately we're going to have to wait a little bit. But so far, it's really great to hear what they're doing with the console. I mean, it comes with 21 games installed in the console straight off the bat, including some classics like Donkey Kong Country, Final Fantasy 3, and of course, Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, and even the unreleased Star Fox 2, which never actually got released on the console. So it's definitely really exciting when it comes out in Australia. You're going to have to pre-order this one, guys, because I reckon it's going to sell out real quick. So go check that out.
Nice.
Now let's move on to, well, it wouldn't be a week in the weekly spread unless we didn't touch on Star Wars, mate.
I thought we got away from Star Wars in the movie section, but you've come back in gaming,
Unfortunately, Star Wars being so pivotal in our pop culture, they keep making the news with exciting information. And this week in gaming, it is the beta release for Star Wars Battlefront 2. This is big news. This is a global open beta, which means you'll be able to download it and play it for approximately about 4 days, starting this Wednesday, I believe the 5th or the 4th of October. Wednesday, the 4th of October, and continuing on Friday, and I do believe Saturday and Sunday will be extended as well. This is huge. A lot of people had a lot of criticisms and love for the first Battlefront due to they felt they only got a very small portion of the game and all the other stuff was released later on. Here they're promising to throw everything on the table in the beginning. It's going to be fun. I'm actually on holidays at the moment. I'm going to be smashing the crap out of this later this week. So I'm super excited for this. Excellent. Let's move on, Rick. And the last story I want to talk about in gaming this week actually is a release to an absolute phenomenal game of, I believe, 2010 now, and that was Red Dead Redemption. Now, if anyone remembers Red Dead Redemption, it was basically a Western made by Rockstar Games, the people that make Grand Theft Auto, and they did a Western adventure, and it was an absolute phenomenal game, a huge hit for that year, and spawned, obviously, packs for it, extensions for it. It was absolutely brilliant. So they released a new trailer for Red Dead Redemption 2. That's right, trailer has been released, showing off some of the footage and the graphical quality of this new release. The official description for the video says it's a story of the outlaw Arthur Morgan and the Van der Linde gang as they rob, fight, steal their way across and the vast, rugged heart of America in order to survive. So this is going to be a big game. And we don't know when the actual release date is, except to note it will be out next autumn. So probably around March, April here in Australia. So you know what? Let's check out a clip of the trailer for Red Dead Redemption 2.
This place ain't no such thing as civilized.
You're the only one of these fools that I trust.
Wow.
Pretty impressive stuff, Rick.
Pretty
I
impressive.
think it's going to be a huge release for that time period. I mean, I know there will be a version of that game in this house, so I know that. So look, that's all I've got to talk about gaming this week, Rick. I think it's time to move on to music. All right, Rick, what have you got for us in the world of music?
In the world of music, let's start off with Australian Idol.
Australian Idol?
Australian Idol, yeah. A former Australian Idol winner, Kate Diageo, is facing possible jail time after allegedly being caught with drugs and weapons.
I read about this one.
This is really, just baffles me. The 31-year-old singer who took out first place in Idol in 2005 was allegedly found in possession of ice twice within 5 days in Shepparton, Victoria early this year, as Shepparton News reports. Police have alleged the singer was caught with 0.43 grams of ice on the 10th of June before being caught with a large quantity of ice, a large knife, and just hold on a minute, a tomahawk as well. Who the fuck has a tomahawk? Where can you get a tomahawk?
Clearly on people on ice.
Clearly. Just after 5 days later, she's also alleged to found to be driving with drugs in her system. This is
so
gone.
sad, Rick. This is awful.
Gone.
She was so talented. She had an incredible voice, and even at such a young age,
at the age, 31 age,
now being addicted to ice, and
why throw it all away? You know, if you had that opportunity and you won,
I suppose we would never understand unless we were in that position what it'd be like. But it does make you think, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
What happened?
Why? What made it? But we don't know other people's lives, what's happening in their lives.
No. Absolutely.
Let's move on to another show in Australia as well. Which caught my eye, which was the Australian X Factor.
Oh, we're in singing competition.
So we're doing a bit of a singing competition here in Australia. So Australian X Factor contestant allegedly linked to $250,000 tax fraud. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what's going on here with Australian TV.
Hey guys, producers, get a better screening process.
This is really bizarre. A former contestant in the Australian version of the X Factor has allegedly been linked to a $250,000 tax scandal involving money laundering and fraud. Money laundering, she a gangster. This is pretty cool. Not as a story, but as News Corp Australia reports, singer Sophia, who competed in the X Factor in 2011 with the group Three Wishes, allegedly helped move $250,000 stolen from the Australian Taxation Office through a company that she owned. The balls on these people.
Well, I don't understand it.
I don't understand it either.
They all got to get together and start a real hardcore hip hop band or something.
I don't know what's happening there,
but pretending they're gangsters, aren't they?
But obviously, there's a trend here in Australian TV.
So definitely keep watching reality TV.
Yeah.
Who knows what's going to happen to one of the contestants of The Bachelorette coming up? You know,
who knows?
Jesus,
so there you go. All right, let's move on. Now, it is a big weekend here in Australia for us for sports. We have two grand finals which are happening. We've got the AFL grand final which is happening on Saturday with the Crows and the Tigers, Richmond. And we also on Sunday we have the NRL grand final. This story is just to do with the NRL grand final. It's to do with Macklemore.
Oh, wondering when music was going to come. It's Macklemore.
So Macklemore is a great performer. We all know Macklemore.
Very talented.
Very talented. Macklemore responds to the NRL grand final controversy I'm going to love. So what that is what's happening is Macklemore has responded to the controversy surrounding his upcoming performance at the NRL Grand Final after being criticised by angry old white dudes.
I don't remember being angry.
For planning to perform his marriage equality anthem, Same Love, before the big game.
Yeah, well...
Nothing wrong with that.
Look, it's just a song. They've asked him to come and perform. I mean, you know how many songs that have been sung at grand finals that are not appropriate for the actual occasion?
That's right.
I mean, come on. At the end of the day, yes, he is... I know it's a difficult political climate here in Australia because the plebiscite and everything else like that.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's just singing a song.
He's just singing a song.
And you highlighting, and these angry old white dudes that are highlighting it, they're the ones creating the controversy.
The angry old white dudes, which they're talking about, is the former Prime Minister Tony Abbott and some former NRL players as well. So they've actually put up trying to get a petition to get the song removed from the grand final.
Look,
which is a load of crap.
You know what?
It really is.
Just pay out Macklemore. Tell him, don't get him to perform. And get some street Oscar to do it if you're going to be that precious about this.
You know, it's a fucking joke. It really is. It is. It's pathetic. Yeah. Macklemore will be great for the country as well, and he's a great performer. And who's to say if all this falls through? Who's to say? Well, I'm not coming back to Australia because the way they treated me. Like, it's just bullshit. Let him do it. Let him do it. So, guys, we're going to throw to a clip of the song and see what you guys think.
Yeah, same love.
And I can't change. Even if I tried, even if I wanted to, and I can't change, even if I...
There you go, guys.
It's a good song.
It's a great song, so there you go. So there's no deal there at all. So that's it, Jace, for music.
All right, guys, that's been another episode of the Weekly Spread now done. We've told you about the stories that we loved, that we found interesting. Now we want you to talk to us about what you found interesting and to comment on the show. How are they going to do that, Rick?
All you guys need to do is just give us a comment down below, hit the like button, also give us a subscribe, and just follow us all on our social media sites as well, and give us a like on our Facebook page as well. It's got all the latest information. All the information that we've spoken to on the show today is on our Facebook page as well.
So come on, guys, get interactive, get chatty. We'd love to hear from you. So until next week, you've been watching The Weekly Spread.